Rabiana, Miss Dyke, the Dykeana, Miss Rabiana, Miss Dyke, Rabiana,
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Before we get into this video, everything I say is not motherfucking fact in this bitch, so don't take it as such.
Girls can't take my motherfucking mouth, bitch. My mouth is real, it is raw, it is raunchy, bitch. I'm gonna give the girls exactly what the fuck they asked for. The girls is going to know my wrath. Trust me.
Ooh, hello, guten Tag, ¿cómo estás? Are those greetings in different languages? I don't know. Maybe I need to learn the proper greetings to other languages. Yeah, let's get into this recap. This is the Real Housewives of Potomac recap, and yeah, of course I'm talking again, for the comments of people talking about, is he really commentating again? Yes, bitch, for the ooh, hold on. Yes, for the ones who can't read and comprehend, this is a recap, so I will be talking and recapping. 1 + 1 = 2. Anywho, I want to say to the returning subscribers, commenters, listeners, whatever, you know what I mean. I love y'all down. I appreciate y'all for just being a part of the Wiggiana family and not being a hating, sour ass bitch, okay? So let's get into this reunion. And the first scene we talk about is Mia. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, oopsiana, y'all know my brain is sour in this. Oh, I almost cussed. I restricted my mouth and my tongue and my... Yeah, so we're going to actually be talking about Giselle and more of Candace reading Giselle to the bone for being a hypocrite and talking about her man and so on, as she rightfully should. So, yeah, hold off on us eating upon Mia.
Instead of talking about her uterus and what's happening with her personal life, she would rather malign and with people's families.
Yeah, speak on it, Candiana, Miss Candy Pants. You better read her because, yeah, she doesn't talk about any of her businesses. I mean, this season we did see her surgery type situation, but barely enough of that to really help and inspire other women who are going through whatever she's going through. We really didn't get to see. And again, I'm not sure if that's an editor's fault, producer's fault, or so on of her not showing more depth of what she's going through, but it seems to me that she's more focused upon bringing up situations of other people's faults in their relationships instead of talking about her shit. But before we get into the flashback moments of her doing so, of being a hypocrite, Candace, I'm not a woman, but I don't know about that comment that you made about her womb and her nanny or whatever. I don't know, but I'm a man, so maybe I should just hush.
Miami. We were at the beach. There's some drinks to be had.
Right.
Okay. This is what tripped me up. Mia said, if she's winning, you winning. Right?
Yeah.
So she bought your Porsche?
We'll see what happens. But let's be clear. Does Charisse have a lot of tea on Karen? Yes, she does. And it will be spilled. The tea will be spilled, people. Don't you worry.
Is the tea that Karen allegedly has stepped out on her marriage?
Carlos, I can't say all of that. I'm getting a phone call from Bravo now. But I'm going to say... I hate these phone calls. I'm going to say that Charisse has tea that we've all known.
But Ashley did give me a little Mia tea.
Oh, she did, but she...
Mia liked Wendy's vagina. She said the last night in Mexico that there was some high flirtation. Wendy was intrigued. Oh.
Candace and I are where we need to be, which is, I know who she is, I see who she is, and, you know, I wish her the best. I wish her and her husband the best.
No one talks about relationships except for the fact that Giselle constantly attacks our husbands. So when you attack our husband, we return serve by saying, how can you attack us when we have no one in your life to even attack? Why would you bring a lie on this platform if you know it's a lie?
Because you're breathing life into it by bringing it up on the show.
So that's why she is Giselle Lax Bryant, because you can't attack somebody if you lack that thing that you're attacking in that other person.
Her point was specifically that you're putting something out there about her husband that's not true.
Don't attack my husband.
Yeah.
Because that's something I do not play with.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm looking at you because it was your ass having a conversation with Ashley.
Did you tell her what I said?
So I'm putting your ass on notice because what you're not going to do, let's be very clear, is you're not going to play with my husband's name. Don't with my family.
You know what? I was gonna say the audience would have a good time with Giselle if she just owned up to her messiness, but I'm just gonna keep it to myself. I feel like I would enjoy Giselle if she just owned up to her being a messy bitch. Like, I just don't understand why she denies her being messy and just hides her hands. Like, girl, you don't talk about your life that much, and you talk about everybody else's life being messy, trying to get the details. Do I need to roll the clip again? No, I don't, because we got it. But, like, Giselle, what's not clicking? I'm gonna need you next season to share a little bit more of what you're going through as far as dating, as far as anything you're going through that's real. Like, come on. You pull up everything about everybody else but yourself. Let's get back into the reunion.
And you use this show to lie on people because you have nothing else going on.
Chris?
Your dwindling
Tell me
uterus
what I said.
was waiting for you to put it on
Tell
TV
me
as a
what I
storyline.
said
And
about
instead of
your
that,
husband,
you
that was
sat
a
on
lie.
Karen's couch, you sat at
I
a
told
table with
Karen the
Robin,
same
and you
thing.
said to them, Chris needs to apologize for what he did to me.
Giselle Pop, what's going on with that memory? Or are we just having pretend amnesia? Pretend. What's going on with my mouth? See, Charisse ain't even been brought out yet, and she's already doing that voodoo work upon my tongue because you know I'm gonna eat her up when she do come out. No, but I hope they edit her ass out. Back to Giselle before Charisse played upon my tongue like she normally does in this bitch. Yes, I'm cussing in here, and y'all need to realize if these housewives can cuss, I can cuss on this motherfucking YouTube channel, okay? It's free. Y'all just gonna have to put a headphone on like I tell y'all normally. If y'all are at work, I cannot restrict my mouth. I'm human. I can try, but it don't go so well. But back to my point of Giselle, like, why don't you remember anything that you were doing all of the season? Most of the season, you were talking about Chris making you feel uncomfortable / sexually harassing people of touching booties. Girl.
I told Giselle, she was like, well, you know, she recalled the experience in New Jersey.
Wanted to talk to you really quickly.
Yes.
In light of Chris had DM'd Ashley and there was a situation in which Chris made me feel completely uncomfortable.
What I heard was very disturbing. A comfort zone that does not exist for you where Chris is concerned. And
Correct.
Chris thinks that you're more comfortable than you are.
Correct.
We are
Yes.
still waiting for you to tell us what he did to you.
Yes.
What did he do to you, Giselle?
Made me feel uncomfortable is what I told you and her and her.
We get you told her and her and her, but we want to know what, like, the details. You know the details about every motherfucking thing else. You want to get down to the nitty gritty of everybody else's business, but when we want to ask you about the details of Chris making you feel uncomfortable, you want to act crazy. Girl, how did he make you feel uncomfortable? And I'm not trying to deny your feelings of such because I don't feel like this whole thing should have even happened. Like, it's too much. It's really too the fuck much. But how did he make you feel uncomfortable? Again, I'm not denying you. I'm just saying it's seeming a little bit fishiana under their sea, okay?
Candace said Giselle is, quote, dead to me. And since the cause of death was Giselle and Chris Bassett's conflicting reports of what happened after last year's reunion, I want to see if Giselle can help me fill in the blanks. What was your response to Chris saying he's 99% sure that when he asked to talk, you were the one that suggested your room?
That's a lie. If that were the case, there'd be no issue with it. I'd have nothing to tell Candace.
I said, Giselle, can we talk? And she said, yeah, let's go to my room.
So she suggested going to your room?
99% sure that that's how that went down. Giselle says, while I'm talking to Candace, she interrupts and said, oh, are you mad? And I said, we'll talk about it later. So she knew I wanted to talk already. She already knew I wanted to talk. So yes, we went in and we talked. And basically the gist of what I said, she says I complained about my wife. First of all, as a married man and someone who has been in a few relationships, I know better than, as a married man, to complain about my wife to a single woman. That already sets a bad tone. So I didn't complain about my wife. Not at all. What I said was, I didn't like this. I don't think you guys are communicating well. I don't think you're on the same page. We cannot keep having seasons where there is so much bickering. People will get tired of it. Y'all need to figure this shit out and come together, and we need to have a fun and uplifting season. Yes, there's gonna have to be some drama because that's what people love, but it's gotta be a better season. It can't keep going like this. I'm going to tell Candace, I'm gonna have you and Robin over for dinner, and the three of y'all are gonna figure this shit out. And that's what I talked about. That's it. And that went on for, it's like 10, 12 minutes maybe. And then she did say, we've been talking for a while. Can you see if they're ready? And I said, absolutely. And I went to go check. And as I was walking out the door, there was somebody right there coming to get her anyway. And that was that.
He comes up to me. He's like, can I talk to you? Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. He said, well, can we go to your room? Mm-hmm. Your room. And I realized Mike Lamb had left.
And she was like, yeah, I don't need any rumors like that going on about me either.
I'm uncomfortable. I'm in a hotel room with a married man, and it is his word against mine as to what's happening in this room.
The last time that we spoke, I had to get up and leave.
Right.
But I wanted to make sure that I was clear on understanding your feelings and where you are. You mentioned that you all went into your dressing room, you and Chris.
Yeah.
And you were uncomfortable.
What about the situation made you feel uncomfortable? Like, what triggered it? I mean, was he talking too close to you?
It was that we were in a private room. The door is closed. I just don't want to be in a room with a married man.
Was it that you were uncomfortable being in the room alone with him?
Yes!
Or that he did something to make you feel uncomfortable?
I feel like this is semantics.
But I know that I've never been anything but nice to her. I mean, she references my penis every chance she gets.
Well, it is.
Very important.
No, but it is.
And you know
it totally
that.
is
And that's the whole point, is that you are playing on semantics.
He asked me
and using that.
Hello, baby. Yes, me interrupting again. Yeah, Giselle, he asked you the question, but you ain't answering shit. You dancing around it. Come on, girl. Come on, spit it out.
She just didn't want to be in a room with a married man by herself.
Candace, I feel like you made this bigger.
No, ma'am. You could have called me, and you didn't because you wanted to wait for an opportunity to do it on a platform that would cause the most hurt to someone who has never been anything but kind to you. And that is what
That's not true.
You waited until you had an opportunity to sit in front of a camera one-on-one to use an audience of millions of people.
Correct.
To make my husband look like a predator. No. And you are not. Shut up.
Mia. Come here, Ruben. Come here for a minute, because you need to sit down and shut the fuck up. Because why are you sticking up? You know what? It's nice that you're being a ride or die for Giselle. I appreciate you being a good friend, but she wouldn't do the same for you, as she's been calling you out this whole reunion and you've been stuck on stupid. You might want to be worried about your businesses that have gone sour, your bank account that has gone down, and the nanny that you were eating upon now that you're denying that you were eating upon the nanny with G, your husband. We'll get into that later when Jacqueline comes out, the nanny that you were eating upon hers. Yeah. So let's get back into Giselle acting a goddamn fool, of not knowing why people are jumping on her, of talking about Chris all season, and then you want to put it on Candace that she made it worse than what it was. No, you were talking about her man all season. Her man all season. Her man all season. You get it? Her, one that you don't have, a man? Yeah.
Giselle kind of insinuates that your husband hit on her. What is that about? What was your reaction?
Well, I think you saw some of my reaction in the trailer. What I will say is this. When you are dealing with people who are lacking in personal lives, personal story, they have to resort to acrobatics, creative ways to, construction paper, Elmer's glue, to just make up school projects to keep a job, to keep a check.
Say a word in here, Miss Bobbiana, with your bob. But moving along, we see the next question being brought up to Robin. Why was she playing the recording of Candace's live when she was on Instagram? And when I say she, again, I'm talking about Candace. Keep up. Yes, Candace was on live talking about certain cast members and their businesses, but she was not literally talking about Robin. So I'm confused on why Robin felt so infuriated that she needed to play the recording for the group, because she was so upset. Like, nobody was talking about your funky ass hats and your sour ass skincare business. But that's the problem I have with Robin, because she doesn't. Let me tell a personal story, okay? There was a housewife who held a space on Twitter. If you don't know what that means, it's like a Clubhouse type thing where you can interact with fans and just talk to everybody, okay? So this housewife was having a space on Twitter, as I just said, and the topic was Robin's background, like what does she identify with, okay? So somebody recorded that space and sent it to Robin. Fast forward a month. Okay, here goes Sharice playing on my tongue again. Bitch, get off me. Okay? Anyways, before my tongue got sour in this bitch, Robin confronted this said housewife, which I'm not saying her name again, but she's from the Real Housewives of Dubai. I'll just leave it at that. She confronted this housewife at BravoCon, rightfully so, based upon the short clip that she got. Now, I'm starting to think that Robin has a fan page and she's actually listening in on her own and nobody's sending her the shit in. Like, I do believe fans send her shit, but I feel like some housewives, let's be real, some of these housewives have trolling pages and I'm sure they troll and want to be in the mix as well. Let's just be honest. But back to this story, this housewife ended up starting shit with some fans due to a recording that none of us ever got to hear, but based off some shit that she said. Now, why I am telling this story is not to be messy, it's just to raise a point of Robin never again has the full context and she ends up starting shit like she did with this housewife, and then this housewife started shit with us because she came back to another spaces and was like, somebody in this spaces is recording me. Again, not Robin, another housewife said this. So then we're all looking at each other like, who's recording and sending shit in, because it's not any of us. So she leaves it to everybody else to play Blue's Clues and everybody's turning on each other. So while everybody is turning on each other, like I just said, this housewife, not Robin, but this other housewife is sitting down in the spaces watching everybody like cuss each other out, blame each other for this recording when we don't know who it is. And literally the housewife said she saw who sent the recording to Robin. Then why not say who recorded you? And then why are you like having such a big deal of being recorded when you're a public figure and these are your words? I don't know. But the point is, these housewives are messy. We can all be a little bit messy, but it's just a little bit weird to me when I love when the housewives interact with the fans, but not when you're like starting shit with fans. That's getting weird. Like, I don't know. But back to that story of the housewife starting shit with fans. That group that she was starting shit with, we were already a little fractured, but that situation just made it a little bit more crumbleiana in here of her saying that somebody was recording her and then blaming people, but not saying who. Yeah, now y'all know why I don't really want to watch or won't be participating in watching The Real Housewives of Dubai, because after this situation, I was completely turned off, as I don't know how one could say that they know, and literally I have the messages that I saw her say that she knew who sent the messages to Robin. She saw who sent the messages to Robin, but watched everybody in the spaces turn on each other and accuse each other of recording this housewife and sending it to Robin. But mind you, literally the housewife knew who it was and didn't say. That's being messy and causing chaos. But again, this all stemmed from Robin. Okay, technically it stemmed from this housewife running her mouth, but it also, again, stemmed from Robin. But let's get back into this reunion.
You said these hoes.
Yes.
None of them are loyal.
Yes.
They're just trying to peddle their businesses.
Yes, across these United States.
Yes.
Yeah, I do a forgiving spirit. I do have a forgiving spirit.
Okay.
But I can forgive you.
What's this on Instagram?
Watch you die.
Must be Instagram Live.
But at this point, almost everybody is a double agent. None of these bitches are real. They're all fake. No one's loyal. Everyone's literally out for themselves and trying to panhandle their little businesses across town, across these United States that nobody gives a fuck about. Fuck these hoes. From the bottom of my heart. It's impossible to be friends with people who will literally say anything to try and elevate themselves and destroy you. Like, there's no line. Will literally make things up out of the clear blue sky because they are so lacking in activity. I was gonna say personal story, but lacking in activity. You have such little to do, such little going on.
She's not just talking about you. You hear this, right?
Yeah, she's talking about you too.
Yes, and Karen, and Wendy, and Ashley, and Mia.
Now I would support. Well, I don't. Is Robin's skincare line out yet? I will support that because I support embellished Robin's hats. I think her hats are bomb. I wear them all the time in real life. The concept for her hats is really dope. So I feel like her skincare line will do well.
So you know how sometimes people want to talk in private? This is not for the group.
Yeah.
This is for the group.
That's for the group.
Then you told Karen and Robin that you weren't talking about them.
Yes.
It's my understanding, though, Robin, that she also said something nice about your business.
I said a lot of nice things about your business.
The Instagram Live.
I was not watching her live in real time. I was sent that clip. Who sent you that clip?
Yeah, Robin. As the Grande Dame is asking, who sent you the recording? That's the questions that need to be asked in this bitch. Like I said earlier in my story time, again, I don't think that anybody sent that clip to Robin. Not to say fans don't do that. I'm just saying, it seems to me Robin has a lot of time invested on her own, so...
It's so hot in that bathroom. So I know. Like, oh, we gotta finish over here. I need you to listen to something, though, while we get dressed. All right. Listen to this.
Okay.
I was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, going number 2, scrolling the internet.
Oh, Robin, I thought you said somebody sent it to you, but you just said that you was taking a number 2 scrolling the internet, and you saw the live. So, okay. Anyways, lying ass bitch.
Do you carry the speaker? You had the speaker, you put it out on the table. Was that planned, Robin?
Okay, no, let me just say this before she answers.
Okay.
I've traveled all over the world with Robin.
Okay.
She always has that speaker with her. So it wasn't like she was like, oh, I'm gonna be shady and I'm gonna go get a speaker. No, this thing had this in her suitcase.
Do you have the speaker? Is the speaker here?
In the dressing room, yeah.
The speaker is in the dressing room.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I take it everywhere I go. I listen to it every day when I'm showering or getting dressed. And then if I'm on the road, I take it while I'm getting my makeup done, my hair done. Like, it goes everywhere with me. And so that speaker, it wasn't like, oh, let me bring this speaker to you know.
But that night it was planned.
Okay. And it's so great. My bag was like literally this little, and the speaker fit in it. And my thought process was, okay.
You just pulled it out and played it and just put it on.
All right, but think about it. You're in a loud restaurant, right?
Yes.
There's 8, 9 women around the table.
Screaming.
I didn't want to have to pass my phone around to every single person so that they could hear what I was trying to...
But why were you passing the phone around and let them hear what she said?
Because they needed to hear what she said.
We needed to hear it, Sherry.
She was talking about...
It was amazing.
Yes.
Okay, we need to hear it.
She was talking about all of us.
Yes.
I felt like they needed to hear it. It was on a blog, an article on a blog.
Okay.
And when she said, and I said this, when you're talking about peddling businesses, the only 2 people I would have thought she was specifically talking about would have been Ashley and Giselle.
Dodo Bird, this could have been avoided. Why didn't you just text, call, or call me, beat me if you want to reach me, Candace, okay? Like, what the fuck? Okay, whatever.
Neither one had businesses at that time.
Okay.
And so I'm like,
I
have a business. Wendy has a business. Karen has a business. Mia has the joint. Like, she's talking about all of us. I was in my feelings on the way Candace was treating me.
After no. When did we wrap filming? We wrapped in July. I went on tour in October.
Yeah. She was the only one who came to your show.
No, I didn't like officially invite anyone because you see that I'm going on tour. You see where I'm going to be. If you're a friend of mine, come. And a lot of my real home, my homegirls, my best friends from home, and I'm in Atlanta right now, but my best friends from home where I grew up in Georgia, they showed, I didn't invite them, they showed up. My favorite honors English professor from high school showed up. Like, my people showed up, and I didn't invite anyone. I didn't invite Robin, but she showed up. And I was pleasantly surprised to see her. I was happy to see her, but I was also surprised to see her. And she was like, why are you surprised? And I'm like, I don't know. I just don't understand. I'm shocked that you would come, but I'm happy that you're here. And now it's like, after all of this bullshit with her literally backpedaling and pussy popping her way to her friend, why would you come to my show? Why would you leave your house? Robin does not leave her house for anybody. Robin lives in West Bumblefuck. She left West Bumblefuck and came to Northeast Washington, D.C. to come to my show. Why?
Yeah, the thing about it just makes you question
every motive.
everything.
Every motive
and what is
now up for questioning. Everything.
like when you put your whole life out there and you're trying to be open and real and authentic. And again, this wasn't on camera, so it seems genuine and real. But then you hear things afterwards, and it's like, what the fuck do you believe in? And you want to
setting
believe
yourself up? Were you just doing some back leg work so that you could save yourself later? That's where my head is. And how awful.
And it sucks.
How awful.
It sucks to think that way because we want to believe everybody for what they do and what they give us to your face. And it just it's hard, and it really sucks that you have to question someone's motive, someone who you think is your friend, and you want to be your friend because you think you've had this relationship that you've been building
for years
over the last several years, and now you have to question it because of a few comments and some stuff that didn't air that probably should have.
Tell me this. Why are you upset that I'm playing your words for our friends that you're talking about?
Robin was named after the wrong bird. She should have been named after the dodo bird because you're not getting it. It's not that she's mad that you recorded her and are playing it out loud. You're really doing it out of context. And if you're such a friend, why would you be doing that instead of asking her about it, instead of trying to be messy? What's not clicking?
Because you are my friend. And if I had heard you say something like that, my immediate reaction would be, oh, she must not be talking about me. Let me go to her and find out what's the beef. Then you tried to shame me in front of the group. It was. And it was stupid because you embarrassed yourself. I wasn't embarrassed.
You get upset about stuff because it's done on camera, which is not fair.
Here we go with this on-camera thing like you're so transparent, Robin. I mean, did we just not realize that you went a whole season without filming your whole entire life, but you're talking about what should be shown and why people shouldn't? Girl, get out of my face. Get out of my face. Get out of my face, Strapiana.
We're all here. When we're filming, everything we do should happen on camera.
Oh, he was walking around Georgetown holding her hand. And I don't know if I forget what they show on the show and what actually like I remember being told in person. So I don't know if they said that. Maybe they did. But they say he walked around Georgetown holding her hand. And I'm like, that would be the dumbest man alive.
So what I will say, okay, so for y'all, I'm sure all y'all that are listening don't really know exactly what we're talking about because you don't, live on Instagram or whatever, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it might be. Young lady came forward talking about she and Juan dated during COVID, and she shows this like hotel receipt with his name on it.
Right.
Okay, that's like that's legit. I don't know. I mean, that's
the premise of the allegation.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So, what I want to, okay. So what I want to say, first of all, I was aware of the situation before we filmed season 7.
Second of all, Juan also has been a public figure in our area since the 2000s because he played in the NBA. He played for the Washington Wizards. He played, at the University of Maryland, won a national championship. He's not that stupid to go to Georgetown and walk and hold somebody's hand.
In that he's in Georgetown with her all the time. Like they walk down the street holding hands and stuff.
So I already knew it was bull crap. But I just wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth. Like, hey, this is what they're saying.
Hello?
What's up, Rob?
Hey, so I'm here with Ashley. And Ashley's telling me that Karen has come to her and said that you have a girlfriend that has long blonde hair and that you walk the streets of Georgetown holding hands with her.
Robin.
A blonde haired. You said she's like old like Karen?
Robin. I'm about to hang up because this is why I don't like this.
Now, the situation when it was presented to me was discussed. It was handled. It was something we had to work through, you know. It was not something that it was just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Oh, yeah. No.
However, there are a lot of things that need to be cleared up with what's being said with what allegedly happened, which did not.
Yes, Juan was an idiot and communicated with this woman on Instagram, because whatever. He's bored. He needs attention. He's, it's the pandemic, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
However, they did not date. He did not fly her anywhere.
Right.
And there is a reason why his name is on a hotel receipt, which I will share on Patreon.
Yes.
The truth came out in the end, and now we are wrapping up, if you will, season 7. And season 8 is all about what's at Robin's doorstep. And there will be no deflection. There will be questions, and she'll have to answer.
This is Ibn Williams, a hooper at Coppin State. His head coach is Juan Dixon, seen here, the former Maryland Terrapin star and NBA player, plus Lucian Brownlee, director of player development and director of basketball operations, who is accused of catfishing, then blackmailing his own player, Ibn Williams. Dixon was informed of what went down and failed to take action against Brownlee and support his former player Williams. Brownlee harassed, tormented, and essayed Williams before publishing intimate material he had obtained from the student.
So much for transparency, huh, Miss Rabiana, Miss Strappiana, Miss Tapiana, okay? Right, yeah. Let's move on to now Miss Mia in the situation of her throwing a drink upon the Queen, Wendy.
Mia, I didn't understand why you threw a drink at Wendy. She didn't really say anything bad about your husband.
You got one, Wendy, you got one more time.
Imagine a woman throwing a drink on another woman for not calling a man.
No.
What type of woman does that?
So the way that I remember it, Andy, there was a lot of things that were said. Like she just kept just coming at.
Are we making stuff up? Mia, let's play a game. Scar, Scary Face, whatever. What's that movie with the goddamn man on the bicycle who be coming out? Saw, yes, let's play a game. Like I said originally, and then I got it mixed up with some other villains. Okay. No, but Mia, what are you not understanding? And I don't believe that Wendy was starting with you. I've never really seen Wendy start with you. Okay, she did start with you when you first came on the scene about your surgeries, but let's keep it about this season pertaining to the dinner. I really don't think that she started with you. You started with her bringing up Peter, mad because you were hunching on Peter, thinking that Wendy wanted... I'm playing. That's not why you were mad, but you started this all due to Peter Thomas from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, come on, girl. Play back your memories.
Look at the CEO! Look at the CEO! Look at the CEO! Look at the CEO!
Robin, you kept calling Wendy antagonistic. How is it possible to antagonize someone after they throw a drink in your face?
Yes, get her, Andrew. I ain't gonna give you too much praise, but for now, I'm giving it to you because, yes, get her. Rabiana is, of course, a hypocrite because we've seen her get much aggressive over less, so... Imagine if a drink got thrown on Miss Tapiana. I mean, come on.
Stop antagonizing. You antagonize to the utmost. Y'all better get security here for real, because
For what? What are you gonna do?
Shut up! Why are you sitting here worried about my life? I've given you the benefit of the doubt.
Please put your fingers out of my face. Please put your fingers out of my face, Robin.
This is putting my
Put your
finger in
finger
your
out of
face.
my-
Please don't tell anyone I tried to fight you anymore.
It's dangerous for you to be held back.
As a thug. I was not held back.
You were held back. Maybe you were so drunk you don't remember.
She was not.
After watching the episodes, do you realize Charisse did need to hold you back from Wendy at the dance studio earlier this season?
So we've got some context missing here. She did not. So
the clip shows that she was.
She didn't have to hold me back.
Okay, well, she was holding you back.
She wasn't holding me back.
Okay.
She got up. She even says in that moment, it was a natural reaction to get up.
So how is she the antagonist in that?
So first of all, let me say, I don't know how I would react if someone threw a drink on me.
I have a feeling it wouldn't be good.
It probably wouldn't.
I saw the umbrella scene.
Y'all are gonna see a lot of people eat their words. Y'all remember everybody's position, how, this is not what we do. We're better than this. Watch. Pay close attention. This season is about paying close attention and paying attention to the ways that the goalpost is continuously moved depending on who is on the receiving end. That's what this season's about. That's what this season's about.
The only person in which you spoke to was the person who was attacked. That's up.
I'm still not justifying what she did, but I understood her frustration.
Well, it sounded like you were.
Secondly, you and I were not friends.
Yes, we know you two weren't friends, which we're about to get into my little montage, but being friends doesn't have anything with you determining right and wrong. Come on, you idiot.
Robin. So honestly, at this point, we are oil and water, and I am fine with that. All right.
And I don't care about like filtering myself or saying things that I think would be well received by the audience. For example, not inviting Wendy's kids to the play date.
This is not okay. Why is that not okay? It's just the kids. I said, Candace, can you take on an auntie role, reach out to Wendy, say, Wendy, I got your kids, I'll bring them, and Wendy declines. You should have been bigger than that.
Yeah, I know that that's not a good look. But guess what? I'm a human being. And if I'm literally arguing with someone, and you saw there's a lot of stuff you didn't see. She called me the devil. She told me all of Baltimore was going to come after me. Like, if I'm literally in an argument with someone, yeah, I'm not speaking to you. Like, that's human nature. And I want to know what person in their right mind would turn around to a person and say, oh, would you like to come to family day? You know, but I have all these people messaging me, oh my God, it's too horrible. The kids are off limits, blah, blah, blah.
Miss Strap, I've had enough of you talking. You, Miss Strapiana, I don't want you fired, but for now, I want you out of my face, okay? So moving along, we are going to talk about the colorism situation that they're talking about on the reunion, and, excuse me, yeah, I'm getting kind of a cringe vibe. Like, I'm happy they're talking about this situation, but anytime Andrew talks about colorism or racism, I just have to laugh at him because I feel like I just can't take him serious. Like, let's be for real. And then I feel like half these girls are not going to take this discussion serious and still continue the behavior that they do. So I really was, okay, whatever.
We've touched on colorism at previous reunions. However, this season we received far more audience feedback, so it feels important to revisit. Now, I agree this is a really sensitive and nuanced topic within the Black community, and one that I, as a white man, shouldn't be leading.
Now, I know it's you've been online, people, they love you, but then some people have been criticizing you. They say it's bullying or colorism. What would you say to that?
You know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion of us, but, you know, that's social media. Right. I always feel like social media does not pay us, so I don't pay attention to it. The minute it pays us, I'll be all in it. Okay. But until then, it's just foolishness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
I agree.
And honestly, like, I'm not perfect and I don't pretend to be perfect, so I don't expect to be on a reality show about our real lives being perfect. And so it's fine if people want to get upset from episode to episode. That means that they're enjoying the show. Okay, but I feel like I've been called mean girl and aggressive multiple times sitting here, so...
Sitting here today, now.
Yeah, you've been called Dykeiana, Strapiana, Mean Girliana, whatever you've been called, but it's like different. You're not understanding for the dark-skinned cast members who get treated, you know, much more aggressively and told they're being way more violent in situations that you guys have also done but don't get the same backlash for. I don't know what you're not getting and understanding, especially Miss Giselle, for somebody who brags about their father being part of the civil rights movement, you dummy. I don't mean to be so harsh upon Giselle because I really do like all of these girls, to be honest. As much as I eat them up, I think they're all beautiful and I enjoy them equally. I literally don't even want any of them fired. It's just, to me, like, I'm so annoyed with the hypocrisy. For example, Andy and producers talking about some of these cast members are not showing their true life, when I feel like he doesn't really hold some of the other housewives accountable. And I feel like based upon these shows, they're never really showing their true life. We see some of it, but then based upon what they want to narrate and give us for whatever reason. Okay, whatever. I guess my point is, like, why do we get shown certain storylines and then others get thrown by the wayside, especially if they're like positive storylines? And I get for entertainment-based reasons and so on, but then I feel like, I don't know, are we really again seeing reality, or are we seeing like what producers want to add in, twist in? Because let's break it down. I've done a reality show. I've talked about this in the past, and a lot of the drama wouldn't have happened if the producers didn't have their hand in it, which, I mean, is a good thing, but like, I don't know where I'm going with this conversation, so I'm just going to end it here, because the rest of this colorist conversation, I can't take Andy serious when he's having these conversations, especially when majority of some of these franchises are just white. I'm just saying. And I get certain areas, like, I don't know. I just want a variety of housewives, a Neapolitan. We can't have an Indian housewife, an African housewife, just anywhere, bitch. I'll take somebody from anywhere. An Antarctican housewife, something, okay? Give it to me new. But we're gonna end this recap here, and next week we will see Jacqueline go off on Mia, and we will see Chris go off on some of the girls. I want him to stay out of the girls' business, but he can't stay out of the girls' business because they've been talking about him all season, trying to drag him into the girls' business. So here we are. Rabiana, Miss Dyke, the Dykeana.